Do you believe in magic? One, two, the things you do in your room when you're all alone. Three, do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? One, two, the things you do in your room when you're all alone. 3, 4, you want mom or whatever cure that was. 5, 6, found in bliss.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
7, 8, feeling brave, but you never really play this game. 9, 10, feels like heaven, you're crying cause you wanna stay. Quick fix, found in bliss when you feel the heartbeat inside. When you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic?
Testing.
Me too, I'm just like you, and I need to fuck it up sometime. I'm stuck with ego trips, having sex to another by. Sometimes after magic, then I manage to fuck up somehow. Getting drunk, I'm getting high. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? One, two, the things you do in your room when you're all alone. In your room when you're all alone. 3, 4, you want mom or whatever cure that was. Or whatever cure that was. 5, 6, found in bliss when you're drunk or you're doing drugs. When you're drunk, 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 when you're drunk,
Well, welcome to stream. Tafasi? Is that how we say that? That's how I would guess it. Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. I did go over scalping in the last stream yesterday, but we can probably dive into it just a little bit tonight.
Me too, I'm just like you, and I need
Give me just a few minutes and we will get started.
I'm stuck with ego trips and sex to another by. Sometimes after magic, then I manage to fuck up somehow. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic?
Just got to get my mic straight.
Do you believe in magic?
If I wear headphones, I get an echo and it messes me up when I'm speaking. But if I don't wear headphones, I can't hear all the cool music or see how loud it is. So I got to do a little tweaking here before I get started. And I believe I just need to go here. And let's see how this works. Did I get I think that might have worked. We'll be starting shortly. Let me do one more test on the mic, see how the sound is going. And I did not get my delay settings before I went live, so I've got about 30-second delay. So if I'm late answering your questions and everything, that's what's going on. I'm glad to have everyone here. Looks like we got 2 people so far. And if you guys could hit the like button, I'd appreciate it very, very much. For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. And cool, the first time I get to hear the music along with you guys. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are live, people. How's everyone doing tonight? Had a pretty good day for altcoins. Not too bad, I don't think. Still working on this so I can hear myself just a little bit. All right. Let us get started. So Tafati was asking about scalping, and I'll definitely make it a point just to go over one of my strategies there. Actually, we are already on the 1 minute on Bitcoin, so before I do any kind of scalping, I've got to check the weather, right? So my rules, the rules of the game, check the higher time frames first. So we're going to check the weekly, see what's going on, see if anything's changed. We're still looking pretty good on the weekly. Kind of getting up there a little tired. Some of our indicators are getting a little tired, but our money flow is starting to go up a little bit. So that's a little comforting. Want to come down to the daily, just kind of check that out. Daily's looking kind of nice. Look how our indicators are spreading out there. And we see that our 9-day moving average right here, the green line, is spreading out from the red. That's a good sign. So, I mean, if we come back, that 9 is the first place that we're going to test. That's going to be about 29,652 at the current spot. I want to tweak the music just a second. Hold on just a second. Give me just a second to get this stuff going. And hopefully this is kind of calm. So late night streams, I just kind of chill. We're just kind of chilling and charting a little bit. There's a few things I do want to go over. I do have a little bit more of a game plan than what I usually had. One of the things that we're going to talk about is looking at crypto as a business. Because a lot of you guys, you're probably like I was. You know, you have a job that you're working 9 to 5, or, you know, God forbid if you're like me, you had the worst hours, usually working anywhere from 10 in the morning till 10 at night. Not very fun. And you're looking for that something, that little hustle to help you get ahead, right? Because I tell you need some, the millionaires will tell you, you need a good source of income, right? And you need some passive income streams. Well, you can answer all those things with crypto, and we're going to get into that. When you change the way you look at crypto, look at it as a business. Life-changing. All right. So Tafasi, tell me if you're still here. 3 viewers, what's up? How's everyone doing? Glad to have you here. Thank you very much for stopping by. So I've got some DEGEN coins we're going to go over. Got some trade setups. Haven't shared, but maybe 1 or 2 over on our Telegram group. If you're not familiar with our Telegram group, there are links in the description below. It's a totally free group. Easiest thing I found to do is to go into settings over here and make a folder. This makes Telegram so much easier. If you don't do this, it is just a mismatch of whatever channels you belong to, and it's just hard to keep up with. But if you can come over to folders, and you can create one over here, and then like create a new folder, name it, and then you can add whatever chats you want into that. Just makes sorting through this stuff so much easier. And that's just something that I recently had learned about. But so with Telegram, and I'm pushing this is our free group here, right? Pretty cool. Now the first link, I've identified the links in the descriptions. And let me see if I can pull these up. Let's just grab this one. All right, let's just go over this really quick. So free Telegram groups, the first one's the news and update links, and that's where I just try to keep with current news that's going on, also giving you Bitcoin updates, Bitcoin dominance updates, letting you know what's going on in the market. This is talking about KuCoin. They're having a token launch on KuCoin. That's some important news. We're trying to get that airdrop, and I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. So that's the first group. The other one, the other link we got, now they are all available. If you go up here to the pinned messages, you can just hit these and go right to them. So we got the Road Dog Lounge. Now this is where all the cool kids are hanging out. Hey, Leandro's there. Oh my gosh, Leandro joined our trading group. Awesome. Love Leandro, man. He's my original OG. But this is where all the cool kids at and we ask questions, you know, talk about things, talk about crypto. And then we've got this other cool section, and I added it over here, the chart section. And it's the chart room. And this is divided up into 3 sections. General just kind of goes over, I show you where I put my money where my mouth is, that these things I'm showing you actually work, and I'm showing you, I've only seen these do on leverage. Now, we're not really big into leverage, but we'll tackle it. We'll deal with it. And, you know, I'm not a huge leverage trader myself, and working out the kinks, and I'm finally to that point to where I'm no longer losing. I'm starting to gain. And you find that with everything that you do in trading. If you start out on the spot, there's this little situation where, you know, it's all confusing to you and you're losing all the time. And then eventually you're starting to break even. And then you're starting to be profitable. And then you start to master it, right? Same concept there. But we talk about margin trading and perps there, just general things there. The real gold for this section, we'll go back to it. The trade setups and the student charts. Now, student charts is where sometimes I'll get on here, and this whole scalping strategy that I was sharing yesterday and last night, we documented that on here. You have to scroll up a little ways to get to it, I believe. But I went step by step at one of the bottoms that we call it, right? Just identified that, and I'm not finding it right now. And then we got trade setups. Now this is a cool section. You can learn a lot from these charts. You can also take the risk and, you know, possibly make some money from them. And here's one that I did put out there. This is one of my trade setups that I put out, and the instructions are kind of written up there. But there are a lot of trade setups here from other groups, from some very well-respected traders and chartists, and that's where a majority of these trade setups come from. And eventually, you know, our people from our group will step their game up, and then they'll be able to post over here too. Hopefully we can get some kind of incentive system to where there's tipping, and then you can tip the people that post charts. I want to keep this a free group, but I want to find a way where our participants can make the money, because the way regular trading groups work, you got one guy that's making whatever that amount is, usually about $100 a month, and he's got other people doing the work for him, you know? So I want to spread this around. Let's lift everybody up here. And my view on it is, I mean, you can have a business idea. We'll talk about crypto and business. Yeah, trading group definitely can be one. They definitely can be profitable. But I'm out there for the guys that are still looking for that life-changing money, stuck in that 9-to-5 job. I no longer have to do that. I have not had to go to work basically ever since the big COVID scare. Haven't been back, and crypto's changed my life. I want to see crypto change your life. And it's some frightening times that we're going in, and I feel led to bring this information to those that need it. So trusting in the universe and trusting in God that the right people will find my channel that need this information, because it's all right here. So God bless you all. There are some extra links that we're starting to put out. Now, I do not have an official affiliate links. These are just referral links that you can get at the exchanges yourself. But for anyone that's opening up a new exchange and would like to support the channel, I do have a link here for MexC. Now, it's always good to have more than one exchange or more than one account. So if you're thinking about opening up another account, God bless you if you'll click this link and just help support the channel. So I have one for MexC, and there's also one for KuCoin. It's just not on this particular listing. I'll have to adapt that. One for crypto.com too. I think you get $25 and I get $25. And then we got Coin Trends. This is really cool. This is our trading group bot. Now, let me just run over this really quickly. In our main section here in the lounge room, we have the coolest trading bot. Okay. Now, Donna knows a lot more about this. Donna is my awesome admin on the trading group. She's also my moderator here on the live streams. And she can definitely tell you how to do that. But you can, if you want technical analysis, something you want to find out what's going on with Bitcoin, I can put Bitcoin there, and let's say we'll stick it with the 4-hour chart. So if you can see this at the bottom, I'm typing in. You can barely see it, can't you? All right. Well, down here at the bottom, I type /TA Bitcoin 4 hour, hit that, and then give our bot a chance to work. And this is what our bot pulls up, telling us that, whoa, indicators are kind of in the red right now. It's not looking great on the 4 hour. But just an overall cool bot that does a lot of cool things. It gets things from Twitter, tells you what's hot, all-time highs, dominant, you name it. I can't even tell you what all it does. It's an AI bot, a chat bot that does some really, really cool things. It's free here. So come in and play around with that. And also, we have all kinds of resources for you. Currently, they're in the main section, but if you're looking for trading instruction, trading books, we got them. And they're there for you. Just have to download them. Go to the main section, charts and news. You just go up to the top and you go to the file section. Now you have to scroll down because I've got a lot of charts and things there. And eventually I want to move these to the student chart area. Books by Thomas Bukowski. That is my, how would you say it? That's who I look up to the most. And for all my statistics and all my data, I'm looking to Thomas Bukowski. For all my trading patterns, not trusting what I see someone else say, I'm going with Thomas Bukowski. The man was a software engineer, a total analytical kind of mind who went through all these charts, and he back tested them, went through them all, did all the statistics, broke them down. And that's where all the numbers, when you hear rising wedge breaks down 68% of the time, that's where it comes from. Except for saying that all patterns go up or down 68% of the times, which you will commonly hear on YouTube. You can get the real deal by checking out Thomas Bukowski. This also goes over William O'Neill, the founder of the Cup and Handle. It's got whatever you want in trading. If you're into Elliott wave trading, which I'm not a big dude on, got the very basics, and my style seems to work fine for me. You can make trading as complicated or simple as you want. I recommend that you keep it as simple as possible. But all this information is there available for you. All you got to do is just pick what you want. It will download it, PDF. It's yours, baby. Just study it and learn. All right, now let's just get on into the charts. All right, so Tafasi, correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Thank you for positivity. I believe you want to change lives because I need this information and randomly found you. Well, bless you, man. I'm glad to have you here. I just want custody of my son, but I'm homeless and drive 12 hours a day doing Uber. Oh, I'm so glad that you've got your son. I can tell you this, crypto can change your life. There's some things that you need to get under your belt to really understand it. But let me just pull up this chart, the Bitcoin chart. 4-year cycles play out on Bitcoin, and I'm sure you probably heard that. This, we're pretty sure, is the bottom, 15,000. We've doubled in price. We're at 30,000. You are in the very best, you are in crypto at the very best time to make some life-changing gains. Now, could you have done it a little bit more if you got the bottom? Well, we all could have, but you don't have to buy the bottoms to make it here. All the money is made in the middle, so it's never too late. There are some rules that you'll have to learn as you go, but it's nothing to stress. If you watch my streams, if you watch my videos, I try to make it a point to explain all this stuff as I go. Come join their Telegram group. You ask questions. I do my best to answer your questions. And if I don't always see everything, but I have a great admin there, Donna, and then we have great members. We got Chris, we got I just can't pronounce the name. Soul Dagger. We've got so many people there that passionate about crypto, and we will help you. So I just wanted to tell you, you're in at a good time and you can change your life. The biggest things that I would recommend you learn, well, you need to know some structure, some TA, and I can help you with that. Pattern trading, it's one of the easiest and most effective ways that I know of. You can see these guys do Elliott waves and they're drawing these lines. And that's one thing, but I never hear them talk about setups. So when's the good time to get in? When do I get in on this trade? That question's never answered for me. And I also see people do the cipher patterns. You might have seen something that looks like this. So they're taking all this time to follow this thing around. And you're like, well, during this whole thing, if we've been pattern trading, we're going to be making money. I don't have to wait to see what this is going to do to play out up here just to know that it's going to come down. Okay, so like I said, it can be as complicated as you want to make it, but it doesn't have to be. So just learning some basic TAs, just some basic patterns. The one that I will point you to first are the wedges, because they play out, baby, and you always find them. Okay? Now, scalping and leverage, if you're starting out, not the greatest idea. If you can't master spot, you can't master leverage. And I get my butt spanked a lot on leverage, not so much as much lately. If I turn a blind eye, if I don't keep all my rules in check, it spanks me quick. All right. So, but you did ask about scalping, so we'll do that. And here I am on the 1 minute. So I looked at the other time frames. We saw that the 4 hour didn't look good, right? I mean, the bot told us that, and we can come to our indicators. Every indicator I got on here is free. Now, this one, you've probably seen it around Market Cipher, right? What is it, about 500 or 1,000? I don't even know what it is. Well, there are free versions. It's called VMC. You can find that on TradingView, and that's the platform that I'm using right here. Recommend that you get that. It's a free platform. And it's just one of the indicators you can pull up. You just type in VMC, and you got Market Cipher. And they got a new one. I'm not even sure what that is. It's locked though. There's 2 of them. The one that I'm using right here is Fu Manchu Cipher B plus divergences. And then sometimes when you see them, let's turn it on. I rarely use this, but it is kind of cool. When you get the blood diamonds and all that stuff. If you watch Frankie Candles and Crypto Face and all them, you'll see all this. Well, they have that there too. It's VMC A. It's free versions. Work beautifully. Other indicators I use are the MACD and the RSI. RSI is the big one. VMC has, so many great indicators, and all it is just about 5 or 6 indicators just thrown all together, just so you can see it. This one right here is the stochastics. That one's very important to me. This green area is money wave or money flow. And when this is in the green, things are going good. When it's in the red, we got to watch out, okay? But I'll tell you, since this is your first night here, let me get a heads up. Hey, there's Charting Crypto. Glad you're here, man. Yo, make sure you do all the dirty things to that like button. Charting Crypto, if you're not familiar with him, another YouTuber, one that I respect. And if I can learn to work this thing, I was going to bring up his channel. Let me do that. Can I do it there? Let's just go over here. But everybody, check out Charting Crypto. The man puts out more videos in a day. I can't match him. I think 2 is about all I've got out, and he's usually putting out 3 to 5 videos a day, it seems like. And he also does live streams. And let's pull him up here. But Charting Crypto, look, I don't even think that's the ones he put out today. I know he put some out today, I'm pretty sure. There we go. So look at this yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos. Ethereum, Phantom, Bonk, Aptos, Arbitrum, Bitcoin. 6 videos. 2 days ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 videos. 5 to 6 videos a day. It's amazing. I kill myself to get 2 out. So the man is grinding. I'm telling you, the man is grinding. Glad to have you here, Charting Crypto. CD, just joined the Telegram group. Thank you for the invite. Hey, glad to have you there, man. Take advantage of all that free stuff. And ask questions, man. That's what we're there for. All right, so Tafasi, I want to show you. Probably easier if I just go over here and look myself up, right? I have a whole playlist teaching you how to do everything that I do. And all you got to do is just watch the videos. It's called Chart School. And once I learn how to navigate YouTube, I'll show it to you. That's the wrong road dog. Okay. All right. So if you find my homepage and you come to playlist, click on that. Chart School right here. Man, I go over everything. Oh. So I guess we have to look over here at the side. I've got a bunch of videos. I got them even when I started out, before I started calling them Chart School, talking about support and resistance. And then I redid that. Support and resistance, all these first ones right there. And I've got them in order, 101, 102, 103. Just watch those. That will help you out. And then you come to the Telegram group, you ask us the questions, we'll explain it all to you. Or do my best to. But I'm here to help you guys because the world's getting crazy. And I just feel led to share this. All right. So as we saw on the larger time frames, probably not the greatest time to scalp because it looks as though we may be headed down, right? 4 hour did not look that great. Might be something here on the 15, but we've already I think that's already played out. But what I do when things are going into my favor and I'm scalping, I have a very simple approach on this. And I can look for patterns, and I do that normally. But on this, when I get down to the 1 minute on the nitty gritty here, this trend line makes all the difference. So when price starts up somewhere, I'll draw a trend line and follow it. When it breaks that trend line, well, I'm out, okay? Because usually it's just going to go either sideways. It may come up to an area, touch this trend line, but then it's coming down, or maybe sideways, or it's just coming down. Usually when you break that trend line, you know, the best parts of that trade are usually over. Now in this case, we went sideways and we started going up a little bit. All right, so you can draw another trend line, and then when you see that breakout, well, that's confirming the trend is changing. We're starting to go back to the upside, right? All the same things, drawing these trend lines. So that would have been a sign to consider maybe jumping back in. Drawing that bottom trend line again, touching these candle bodies, and my candles may look different to you. Now this is what the regular candles look like, okay? The green, the Christmas tree candles. I use one called Ashi, and you just go up here and you choose it right. Yeah, I got to start right here, Ashi. Takes a lot of the noise out, makes it a lot easier to keep up with trends. When you're on the red and green Christmas tree candles, oh, it's green. It's good. Oh, it's red. We're going down, right? No, we went up. It's green again. Oh, look at that wick on that red candle. Oh, then we jumped up green. It gets confusing. Let's take the noise out. Let's make this easy. A lot easier to read, just a lot smoother. They're calculated just a little bit differently. So I've got this trend line. It broke down, right? So when this happens, I go over here and I pick up a Fibonacci retracement. And that's what I'm looking for, okay? So let's go back to where this started. This trend line here, when that broke, I draw a Fibonacci. I'll go from the bottom wick to the top wick, drag that out. And the first thing I'm doing, ideally, I want to see if price is coming back to this 618. Most of the time it does. Now, if we get a bounce here at this 236 level, And sometimes it's 382 levels. Those are indicators that, well, this move may just got a little bit more legs to the upside than we thought. So a bounce there gives me a clue that this might be a good place to get back in this trade. So I will look at these moving averages, these lines here. You kind of watch them and see how they cross, and they're in order. I have a 9, a 13, a 9, a 21, a 50, a 100, and a 200. I'm paying very close attention to this 200. So my rules of the game are, you're bullish when you're over the 200, that yellow line. And for right now, I'm not going to feel comfortable getting into a long until I see price break above that. Now, breaking down here, if I saw price down here and saw how spread out these were, I'd be looking at that, okay? And I'll probably have a fib telling me that we're hitting that mark. Let me show that to you. I think we did that one last night on a live stream. It just took it this long to get there. Is that the one from, that was an 8? That was it. So Fibonacci's are kind of cool. And if you're just starting out, it will be confusing, but just take it with a grain of salt. Where was that? I'm starting to get a little bit off. Don't believe that was it, was it? That is a top though. We can do that one. So we had this impulse move, bottom, swing low, swing high, down to the swing low. Let me get rid of this other one. I'm kind of backtracking. I hope I'm not confusing you. But I drew this Fibonacci from swing high to swing low. I'm eyeballing this area right here, -2.7, and this -382. And you can see that we came here. That's mostly where candle bodies are, and we wick down to here. Those are the two ones I'm looking for. If it goes any deeper, I'm looking at this guy. So when we lose structure, when I'm scalping, when price goes the other way, that's how I'm figuring out the best entries. I'm looking at these two levels. And I was not following this, but had I been doing this, what I'm doing right now, and see it come down here, I'd be in on that. And now, let's pretend that we got in there. We opened the position here. So we got in there and we got out when it broke that trend line. That's 33% increase. Now you have to use leverage if you're doing scalping, and that's just it. So at a 10x, it'd be a very small move to get out there. And you could risk, if you got your stop losses, you put your stop loss up in the profit and you're below that 236 area, definitely could have put a stop loss here and still ride this to the top. When I get into a trade and it gets in the profit, I move my stop loss up. And when I'm scalping, I do it pretty quickly because I want that trade to win. And I don't care if I'm just winning by a few pennies. I want a winning trade. It's not so much about the money. It's about the win rate. It's a game. You have to look at this as like playing a game, and you want to make sure you're going to win that trade. So even if I only make, 35 cents off of this, I want that. I'd rather do that than have it go in the whole $5 or $20 or whatever. So it did not come to 618. We bounced at the 236, telling me we've got a good chance to keep going up, which we did. So now this part's played over. I've got to start drawing my trend line here. This one's irrelevant now. So same thing, it broke trend there. So I'm going to take a measurement from swing low to swing high. And let's see what we got. It found support at the 382. Okay, it didn't come down to the 618. That's where I'd like to see it come down. And that's where it normally comes down. But it's showing me it's got some strength. Okay, so move my stop loss up. Maybe put it right here at the 50 or something, somewhere under this candle. Okay, and now if I lose that trade, I'm in profit. And we just keep watching this minute by minute just to see what's going on. So we measured that move to the upside, see what we got going on. I'll draw a trend line connecting candle bodies to candle bodies. I want to check the tops. That lets me know if we're breaking up to the top side. We broke out of that. Good chance we can still go up a little bit. Although I'm concerned what I saw in the higher time frame, so I want to watch this carefully. Candle body to candle body, there's my line in the sand. When it breaks down past here, I want my stop loss under here somewhere. Because if it breaks down below there, this trade's going against me. Take my profits and leave. And that's basically how I do this strategy. So now I've just got to see what this guy's going to do. And once we figure that out, we'll take another fib. See, this one went to the upside. I'd rather have let's see if we can draw it here. That one went to the upside, so I took a fib from bottom to top. And it let me know that we've got a good bounce place, a strong bounce place, right? For stronger upside. Now I just got to wait, or I could do it from right now. This leg here, this is my new move, right? My new leg. So I go from swing high to swing low, and that should tell me where this will come down to. Okay, so this one did something pretty much expected. Now at first it came up here. Do I really have that 706 on there? Excuse me for a minute, I've got to get rid of something. Just trying a little experiment there. I don't agree with it. I'm taking one of these out. It really doesn't belong there. No big deal. I was playing around. All right. Price came up, and also right here is where we actually touched a 786. That's a good area for rejection, but usually we're looking at the 618 area, this little yellow line here. Usually when we come from a downside, pull our fibs from top to bottom, we'll get rejected at one of these two areas. Usually the 618, we got rejected at 786 here, okay? So we're coming down. So now I'm looking again, this area, this -27 area. I forecast that price will come back down to this 302.80 area, possibly wick down to this 302.77 area. And if it's really nasty, I'm looking at 302.71. So I will be waiting until we get there, and most likely I will be looking at taking maybe an entry there. Possible. But there's some sign here telling me we may have something else going on too, right? I like this Ichimoku cloud. That's one of my indicators that gives me a peace of mind. And the thing is that when price comes really close to this green cloud and it's really nice and thick, it'll suck us in like a magnet and it'll spit us out on the other side. So that's what I'm watching to see if that happens, because we got a good chance of it happening. So I want to clean this up just a little bit. And that's basically the strategy that I use when I'm scalping. And it works beautifully for me, and it helps, but you have to be right on it. Scalping and day trading, man, they are so labor intensive and so exhaustive. So exhausting, because you're just always, you want to be right there. You really don't have to be. There are ways to do this without having to be so active on it, and we can touch on that too. And I've shown that to other times on the stream, where I'm using a Bollinger Band strategy. I just kind of set it and forget. And actually that has played out very well for me, because I don't play with it as much, right? I'm not there over trading or anything, and that account has already 3x for me using that Bollinger Band strategy. Okay, so we had our lines, we broke structure, and I was taking each individual line. Remember that? That's what I was drawing my lines on. Now I want to step back just a little bit. I want to zoom out, because now I want to look at a bigger picture. It's always good to zoom out. And I'm just going to connect these lines. Now I've got a solid trend line. And you see we broke structure and it retested it. That's what we were talking about earlier. That's your options. When it breaks sideways, it can go up, but it rarely ever jumps up above it. If it jumps up above and goes back above that line, jump in that trade, because it's about ready to do something crazy to the upside. Usually, always. But it usually gets rejected, and it just bounces off these lines here, right? These moving average lines. And it almost does it in an order. And so I'm watching these, and when I see this green line, this 9 cross over that 21, that red, oh, that's bearish. I mean, we're going down. Where are we going? To the 50. And we're going to see if we get support there. Now we got two options. We could find support and it'll come back up and it'll retest that 21. If it gets rejected, it'll come back to the 50. It'll hit that 200 or that 100. If it bounces up here and gets above that 21, it will go up a little bit, and eventually it will retest that 9 and then get a little bit of a leg up. So price tends to bounce in an order off of these moving averages. The biggest thing that we want to see is for it to get above this 200. And so it's telling me we're going to come down a little bit, maybe make some kind of double bottom pattern or something like that before we think about coming back up to this 200. So for scalping right now, that's what I'm seeing. This would be a short area. And these two areas would have been a decent place to look at a short. This would have been great, but it would have been hard to catch. You would have had to have been chasing this line right here. But when the trend is going in one direction, and basically we're in a bullish trend right now, and so they say the trend is your friend, and when you go against it, it'll spank you. You might win a few, but go with the trend, man. Now our micro trend is headed down, and some people will short it. I'm not going to, man. I've just been spanked too many times. Now, how far will this come down? We already established that. We had an idea, right, when we took the Fibonacci, but now we can also do this. We got a swing low to swing high, and this also gives us some options here. 3,213. Let's go ahead and mark that. Now, does that look a little familiar? That should kind of line up a little bit. Let me get these 3 areas right there, or 4 areas. Let's get those main ones. So if price comes down to the 236 and find support there, it's a good chance that we could get a leg up. That's a good sign if we catch support there. Price comes down to the 382. That's still a decent chance. Might struggle a little bit, but chances are we're going up. Comes down to the 5. I mean, these are good, but the deeper you go, the slower the move up. What I'm trying to say is you have more momentum if you catch support at this higher fib level. You got more momentum to go up higher and quicker. If you're coming down to these lower ones, it'll just take a little bit longer to play out. It's probably going to form another pattern. Let me go to the chat real quick. Javier says he's a good channel. I follow you both. Or Charting Crypto. Yeah, he's really good. You both do a good job. Seems like good guys. Yeah, I like Charting Crypto. His heart's in the right place. And Charting Crypto says, did a live stream earlier. I know, I popped in there for a little bit. I couldn't stay very long. I had some other stuff to do, but I did leave you a like. Actually, 2 likes, because I watch on my TV and I watch on my phone, so. All right, so I got those levels. I did have those levels marked, right? Make sure they're marked. And we'll just see how they line up with, remember what we were doing earlier. That little magic fib with the -27, that's what I'm looking at, right? So just a regular fib, swing high, swing low, and my 237 comes in here. We'll just do this and just see how well it plays out. Does it play out perfectly every time? No, not every time, but a lot of times, most of the time, enough to where I can set a limit order there and feel pretty dang confident in it. Let me put that one to red. And now you can see that this one, I believe that was a 382 from the bigger Fibonacci that we had, right? And it's coming in at the -618. So that kind of gives me some confluence, since I got these kind of doubling up right there. This may be where we come down to. So I want to watch that. And we'll just kind of check back with this at night and see how that plays out, okay? So the 27's marked there. Just for poop and giggles, let's just go ahead and mark that. Yeah, I said it. Let's put a mark of that 618. And we'll mark that little guy yellow. It did not mark yellow. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of this fib so I can see what we're doing, and let's change this little guy to yellow so that I know it's a 618. and we'll see how this plays out. And I believe this was a 618 there too, right? You get that guy there. Okay, I'll make this one yellow too. And so we'll just check back in this as the string goes by, and we'll see if this plays out. Something that I see that's kind of interesting here is the Ichimoku cloud is getting a little bit thin. It's not like a big green blob, and that could indicate some upward movement there. Possibly might get a bounce in here. It doesn't happen a whole lot, but it can. If I see some red come in over here, like it turned red over at the end after the green, I'm pretty sure that we're coming down. So it's just using indicators, and it's whatever indicators you feel comfortable with, and you just get used to them. And they will help you. You just kind of have to back test them and learn how they operate, learn how they work. One of the best things I can tell you is the stochastics and the RSI. And overall, when you find them both at the bottom, those are usually some great times to get in, whatever time frame that you're on, right? Stochastics, if you can see it here, it's a little harder to see on Market Cipher, but this is the line here, and it's bounced up, and now it's down at the bottom. This is the bottom. It's bottom out, okay? So I look for things like that, and then I look at the RSI. Now, if both of them were down at the bottom together, oh, that's go time. If this little guy was down here at the bottom, as that stochastic's at the bottom, that's a buy signal for whatever time frame you're on, 4 hour or whatever. That's a buy signal, period. And chances are that's going to play out very well for you. So a bunch of little things to look at there. Now here we're on the 4 hour, and that one's kind of negative, and let me show you what I see here. We got this green moving average getting ready to cross bearishly over that 21. And that happens, boom, we're coming down. It's just going to happen that way, guys. And the bigger time frames always trump the smaller time frames. So whatever you got going on, we got scalping. We got a plan for scalping on the 1 hour. This 4 hour, it trumps it though. Okay, it makes the rules. It can tell that 1 minute what to do. It'll boss around that 1 minute. So we want to respect the higher time frames, and the 4 hours are very good one to respect, because by using my same principles there, the same tactics that I used on the 1 minute works on every time frame. And you can see we're at the 236 area. So actually, what I'm seeing on the 4 hour at the 236, and we're not as close to the cloud there. There may be a chance, maybe another wick down here to go up, but these areas are not going to hold for me. I'm looking down at this area about 29,723. So the 4 hour, that's just kind of what it's suggesting to me. Hey, keep an eye on this. If we don't find support here, if we dip below this bottom that we had at 30,000, if we go below that, boom. 29,723 is my target, and 29,606. I'm targeting these three areas. And I can already tell you, if price gets into this green cloud, we could be looking at something a lot bigger. But that's my 1 minute scalping strategy in a nutshell, and it actually will work on any time frame that you do. But on the other time frames, I also get a lot more information from patterns. Okay, so I like to get a candle close and connect those. So I got at least 2, 3 if we count that one. I want to back this up and see if there's any confluence just to make sure. Does it touch that one? It doesn't really get on that bottom, does it? It's close. I really want to stick with what I got on those two, right? And candle body to candle body. Now, sometimes you will see me establish a solid trend line. If I get a good solid one on either side, I will make a copy of that so I can keep that same angle and see how it lines up and see if I get a little bit more confluence. It's not working as effectively for me here on the 4 hour, but I always check for that. If I do find something where the angles match up, I pay very close attention to that, because that tells me a lot more information. All right, so technically we've broken to the downside of this. Now there's a measure move for this, and that's where we go from the top of the channel to the bottom of the channel. And this is more of a conservative one. Sometimes some people will take the wicks into consideration. But look, just that measure move gives us confluence down to this line that we got, the red line. That's a -2.7, right? And a little bit lower, that's a -0.41. So there's a good chance we'll come down and might see 29.7, 29.65, somewhere right through there. Eventually, if I'm going by the moving average strategy, see the green's going to cross bearish over the 21. We lose the 21 for support. Next place we come down to is the 50. And so by the time the price gets there, the 50 is probably going to be up close to these areas, and that will be our third little incident of confluence. Kind of similar to Charting Crypto's 3 wise men, where he has his 3 indicators down the bottom telling him the same thing or giving him a signal. You get confluence across multiple signals or multiple indicators, and that just tells you you're on the right path, man. And whatever area that is, it'll probably stick. And that's basically, I mean, in a nutshell, that's basically all I do. I mean, there's some other things I'm sure they'll come out as the situations develop. And there's certain things that you can do at certain phases of the market. But in general, you know, you just keep it simple. So this rising channel is a bearish pattern. Technically has about a 65% chance to break down to the downside, and it looks like that's what we're going to do. Hopefully we will find support at the 50. If we do not, we'll find it hopefully at the 100, and that makes sense. That actually does, because that area is coming in at the top of this pattern, or the top of this trading range, however you want to define that. And if we draw trend lines there, we can see that that's what we call an ascending triangle. And Tafazi, if you're still here, let me point you out to a free resource that I consult all the time. And it's called thepatternSite.com. And it was put together by Thomas Bukowski, the guy I told you that came up with the statistics on all these patterns. He's the man. He's the GOAT. He's the one that will break this down to you. He will give you accurate statistics for it. And like here you see the breakout upward 60% of the time for a flag, a bull flag. And so you can go to his index there, and I mean, patterns by name pretty much, but he does have he's got an index with a visual index. That might be easy for really big new beginners. You can actually see the pattern and then click on it, and then you can get all the statistics. Not the prettiest pictures, but you get the idea about how they work. And now, do you have to remember all these? No, you don't. You don't. You want to look for your basic top patterns, which are going to be M's. Bottom patterns going to be mostly W's, and there's some variations of that. And then you have your continuation patterns, which are usually triangles or channels. And that's where price comes in one side, and it usually will go through that little consolidation phase. So price came here, and then we consolidated. And it made basically an ascending triangle. And then when price just gets squeezed down to the apex of it, and then it's got to go somewhere, up or down. Usually, with an ascending triangle, usually it'll go up. Not always, though. And that's what this one did. And so to me, patterns make it a lot easier to determine the probabilities, and they give you a target. And I don't see that with some of the other things like Elliott wave or whatever. I just hear those guys arguing about, oh, it could go here if this is, or it could go, I don't know. They don't give me I want something concrete, man. Give me something halfway concrete. Give me something. Measure move, right? Did it hit? Really dang close. Well, I guess it depends on if I actually put it online there. Right there. So and when you take a measured move, you gotta remember, those targets are a zone. It's not down to that exact number. You're looking at kind of a little zone there, you know, set a couple orders there to take profit. Seems to work out the best way that I've found. All right. Striggle hard. What's good? There we go. There's a, glad to have you here, man. Thanks for stopping by. All right. So we just kind of recapped the scalping strategy on the 1 minute. And as I said, it also works on other time frames as well too. And in the topic for the night, part of it was crypto as a business, right? And I don't know if you guys have ever thought about it this way, but take a minute to do that. When you think about starting a business, getting a hustle, whatever, you could go out and get another job, or you could find a way to make some extra income, right? Start a business. Okay, well, you got Amazon and all this stuff that takes work, right? You're trying to buy something cheap and sell it for a higher price. Now, either you get something high priced that you only have to sell a few things of, kind of like, I came from the jewelry business, okay? If I sold a $20,000 ring, I got a pretty good commission, all right? And that can add up kind of quick. So that was cool. So we sell luxury items, expensive cars, or even cars in general. A higher priced item, you're not going to sell as many, but you'll have a higher profit or a higher commission. Your other option is to sell a bunch of cheap stuff. So let's think about Amazon and Walmart there. Cheap China stuff, selling a bunch of it, and you're taking your profits there. Well, let me ask you, how different is crypto than that? And you don't have to put up a storefront. You can buy this stuff on the cheap, turn around and sell it at a premium, keep that profit. Don't have to set up a store. You don't have to go out and find buyers. You don't have to find advertisers. You just get on a trading platform, a trading exchange, and you've got your store up and running. And I think that's amazing. And I think we need to look at it that way. Crypto is an excellent hustle. All right, so you treat it as a business. Think about that, man. That's how I look at it. These coins, I would stop my store with some of these coins, man, because, I think people are going to be looking for them in a little bit. And those prices are going to get high. People are going to want to try to get their best deal they can get, right? But I got in at a better deal. So I get profit. And then you also hear it said, you need at least 7 streams of passive income, right? You can do that. Passive income streams in crypto. Now, are they huge income streams? Depending on how much money you put out there, I mean, they could be kind of sizable. But, let's take staking for instance. A lot of these layer ones, a lot of these coins, you can actually just stake, like ADA, or Atom, Cosmos Atom, or Cardano ADA. And I've got them staked. I've had my ADA staked for a long, long time. But I'm getting free coins, right? And, ADA may have been 20 cents when I got some of those coins, 25 cents when I got some of those coins. But at some point, I hold on to them coins. Cardano goes back up to around $3 like it was before, right? Yeah, that little bit of passive income starts to look a lot more interesting if you can use your staking to build that bag of coins. And where was it? I can't really bring that up right now. That's what I'm doing with iChain too. I've got all that over there staked, man. I pulled it off the exchanges and I want to put that to work for me because I find it an interesting project. I'm going to hold it long term anyway. Might as well stake it. So for any long-term holds, I mean, you're missing out if you're not putting your money to work for you. And staking is a safe place to do it. It's a safe way to do it. DeFi, well, you got a little bit more risk there, but it can pay off handsomely. But that's another way to get some passive income. Let's see, where's my Osmosis? Osmosis is one that I use. It's on Cosmos. And they got me with that airdrop, man. I was very fortunate to get that airdrop. And ever since then, I just put that to work. And that was the best, one of the most successful things I've done. And I even lost a big bunch of it because, as you know, Terra Luna and UST both, they were a trading pair on here. And I had a bunch in there, but it wasn't my money. It was the free money that I generated from the airdrop. And I still have, it's still doing good. It's still like, I'm still a 10x up from what that original airdrop gave me for my value that I have here in Cosmos. Actually, I've got 2 or 3 of these different accounts now. But you can take your money and you can work it. I mean, you can add a pair Oh, look, I'm already up there. I don't know which wallet this is. This is the big one or the little one. But 22%, 15%, 26%. When this first started, and this is why I'm so big on that. When these DEXs first start, man, you get some sweet interest rates. This started out at, a lot of these started out like 8,000% interest. They were still about, by the time I found out about 3 weeks after the drop and found out that I had the airdrop, put it to work, they were still right around maybe 3,000 to 4,000% interest. And it just slowly came down over the weeks. But that will build your bags like crazy if you can catch things like that. Get in on these things early. So that's why I wanted to do ORI chain, right? They're just starting out. So I wanted to get in on that and get some of these trading pairs up there. And ORI chain, or ORI DEX, they've got some pretty sweet rates right now. Let's see. So look, ORI and Atom, 118%. ORI and USDT, 127%. Now, when you go with a pair that's against a stable coin, that's a pretty solid pair. That's a safer one to get into, and that's a good rate. Now, when you pair them up with some of the smaller coins, you know, that can go either way, and you'll usually see a lot of times, maybe like on Cosmos, some of these smaller chains, they used to have a lot higher interest rates that they would give you on some of these oddball ones. Cosmos is pretty much down to the, well, there's one, INJ. Well, I don't have much on that at all. Which wallet is this? I don't know if this is my big one or my small one. Looks like it might be my small one. INJ, 85% to pool that. Not bad. INJ's been on fire, hasn't it? INJ's been doing pretty good. But ORI, the DEX and ORI DEX, it reminds me a lot of Osmo, and it's made by SDK. It's the Cosmos. It's made on Cosmos. So it reminds me a lot of the Osmosis when it first started, and I'm excited about it. I want to see how this plays out. So I got my exchange tokens off the exchange, put them to staking, and that's been going a lot better than I thought too. The staking rewards are pretty cool, especially for a coin that's limited like ORI. But ORI and USDC, that one's up to, that's 140%. I mean, these are some good things to take advantage of. But you got to believe in the project, you know, do your due diligence and everything, because there are rug pulls out there, right? They happen from time to time. There are exploits and there are hacks, so we've got to take that in consideration. Osmosis, I've never had an issue with it. It has been a true blessing for me. This one has really, it's been a real blessing. And I've even pulled profit out of here several times, man. So if this thing went to zero, I'm still up. All right. If I lost everything that I have in this account, I still won. But one thing that I do like about the Cosmos ecosystem and ORI chain is on that airdrops. If you're staking Atom, you get airdrops. If you're staking Osmosis, you qualify for airdrops. And I assume that if you're staking ORI, that they'll probably have some cool airdrops coming up too. So it's the best chain that I've found that actually gives you an airdrop. You don't have to really jump through hoops. You just find that you got them. Osmosis was the first one that I ever had to jump through any hoops, and all it was, you know, stake, and then it releases the rest of your token, or another section of your tokens, create a pool, then it releases some more tokens. Now those are cool, but when they got you doing things like Arbitrum does, and you know, doing God knows what to try to qualify, I'm not about that. I'm not about chasing those airdrops like that. But I like the Atom chain. I like Cosmos and the ones built on that, because they do a lot of airdrops, and you just wake up and find out you got them. Or you might have to go over to Reddit and find out if there's been an airdrop and just drop over to that site to see if you can claim it. It's just a lot easier. And Tavasi says, thanks for the free resource. I'm still watching. Oh, good. I'm currently doing Uber while you're streaming, man. God bless you, man. We all have the chance. We're all fortunate to be in crypto right now. And if you haven't made life-changing money, you can do it. You can do it. Right now is the best time just to dig in and learn what you need to know. Get your setup. And watching Charting Crypto and checking out my channel, you will find that information. There's some other good streamers out there, other good YouTubers out there. There's some out there a little shady too. So, take it with a grain of salt. But, watching and learn, asking questions. And you will pick this up if, just watching people chart, just watching what they'll do. You'll be surprised how quickly you start picking this up, and it'll start clicking. It seems like a lot at first, and it can be overwhelming, and you can just chill out, man. Zoom out. Whenever things get confused, if you're looking at a chart and you don't know what's head or tails, it just looks like a bunch of noise, man. Zoom out. Go to the daily. Go to the weekly. Pull back. Shrink that chart down. Look and see what the bigger picture is, because that's what matters. And zooming out here on Bitcoin, one of my favorite things, the rounded bottom. You can only get these at the bottoms in the market, right? That's why I'm saying that you're fortunate to be in right now. This particular pattern, a lot of the people that's been following me, they know that I preach this. And this is, if you find other coins that are doing exactly what I'm showing you right here, you'll know that it's a good time to think about getting in them. I'm looking for a rounded shape. I'm looking for a falling wedge in there. I'm looking for a breakout. And I'm looking at the 200 daily EM or moving average, because I know rounded bottom, falling wedge, I've got an excellent shot to move to the upside. And once I cross over that yellow line, that 200 moving average, I know I'm bullish, baby. It is officially bullish, and I want to be in that game. Now, before it ever gets there, when I start seeing the signs that this is playing out, I go to that 4 hour. And I come over here and I start looking closely at the 4 hour. And when we get officially above that 200 on the 4 hour, I'm in. That's my buy signal. So I use the larger time frames to nail my entries. You can even take this down if you really want to nail it, down to your 1 hour, 15 minute or whatever. But these are the clues. When you see on the daily a setup like this, rounding bottom, doing that with your moving averages down here, look on the 4 hour, see if we're doing something similar there. And that was the time to get in. 17.1 was a buy signal right there. And the breakout, that was your option right there too. There are several different ways that you could have structured that, but just seeing this overall pattern, it's getting ready to do something. And when you find this on altcoins, and this is a big thing that I look for, this is when I got into AGIX. It was doing something similar to this too. And I got into 5 cents. Wish I'd gotten more. I was trying to play a range there, and I ended up selling more than I wanted to sell. But at one point I had like almost 15,000 of them little guys. And I still got a moon bag of that now. So my overall strategy is try to get in as low. I want to be a bottom feeder, and that's what I set out to do on this cycle, because I missed it. I've come close. I've got in bottom territory before, but I either didn't have the capital to do it, or I was just a little bit late with the capital that I have. This time, yeah, I had the plan, and I feel very confident in how I executed it. And I was waiting for these rounded bottoms in this shape, waiting for it. Okay, and so the point I'm trying to make, another thing I want to point out about this whole thing, and remember, there are altcoins that are doing this right now, and some of them are just now starting to form this out. So seriously, we're still in a good time to find some really good deals on some of these altcoins. All right, so rounded bottom, falling wedge, looking at that 200, and look what happened. We broke out, came back. What did we retest? Not only we retest this parabolic, this rounded parabolic shape, retested that 200 moving average, found support there. If you missed anything over here, that was your second buy signal. That was your second chance to get in. And that was just last month in March. And we're down at about 20,000. And once it does that, we usually get a good pump to the upside. And you'll see that on the altcoins too. Sometimes you will see on the altcoins, you'll see this pattern forming out, and you'll see these little spikes that will just, just a wick up, these little wicks that just go up. And you can have those orders set up there, and you can just roll this over and over on this pattern. Just keep rolling those profits back into it, building that bag. So love this. This doesn't really have a name other than a rounding bottom. And I learned this from my mentor, Crypto Bitcoin Chris. Crypto Revolutions is what he goes by. He has a YouTube channel too. That's where I got this from, and it has been amazing. Amazing. And so we've found support here on the daily, and all the other coins play out the same thing, right? We start doing the same type thing. Then we're off to the races. Now, there is always the chance we'll come back down and retest this trend line, right? That'll happen. Can happen. Very likely to happen. Doesn't have to, but it can. And I'm looking over here for support. We draw that line right here. We just keep looking left at the tops and the bottoms that we had before. So these tops, that was resistance, and now we flip that into support. So I want to mark that because that's a strong area, and that could be where we come back to at some point. Does it have to be now? No, but price could do that. We could come back there. We could dilly-dally over here. At some point, we'll come back and retest this rounding line. And it's just a beautiful thing. So rounding bottoms are awesome. Another thing I look for are parabolic movements, although those get a little iffy because they rarely play out, or lately. They kind of break down. But it looks like this is just going more up to the side, and we'll come across some of those for sure. Striggerheart says, I'm missing out on staking, but I don't want to hit with stuff if regulations change. Well, I don't really give that thought. It may sound terrible, but they can't figure, the regulation is a concern, but man, there's been regulation fears for the whole time of crypto for the last 10, 12 years. All I know is they're not going to stop it. The cat's out of the bag. You can't put toothpaste back in the tube, man. Bitcoin is it. They're never going to be able to control Bitcoin. Anything that's truly decentralized in this space, they can't. Now, they can get their fingers in some of this more centralized things, and I try to be cautious about that. My overall plan is to stack Bitcoin. Now, a lot of these altcoins that we get so attached to and we like, and what they're trying to do and everything, a lot of them, just to put it out there, a lot of them are hype. A lot of them actually don't have working products. A lot of them are vaporware. Some of them do. Some of them are making strides, are actually doing some things. But in crypto, hype runs a lot of stuff. So I use the altcoins to build Bitcoin. And there are a few altcoins that I like. AGIX is one. I think they're doing some cool things. There's a few others. And I'm holding those long term. But the layer ones, I've really got my eye on them. Things like Ethereum, things like Matic. Because they have applications that build on them, and that will boost them. Now, those applications can fall off. They could rug pull. They could be scams or whatever. They could turn out to be something beautiful. They could turn out to be the next Uniswap. But that layer one is going to benefit. And you can stake those layer ones most of the time, right? So if they just deem everything as security, they've already pretty much established precedent that secondhand sales aren't necessarily securities, right? So the regulation's not fearing me. The thing that's fearing me about regulation is just that they're losing out. They're making some really dumb choices right now. Instead of embracing this technology, they're fighting against it. And all this fear about, the dollar dying and, the de-dollarization, people getting away from the dollar. And crypto handed them security, just handed it to them, and they are just turning their face away from it. We had the petrodollar, right? You had to buy dollars to buy oil. That's what boosted us up. And then here we had stable coins pegged to the US dollar. Now, while all the other countries are getting rid of their dollars, going more to gold, going to the yuan, going to their own currencies, trying to back off the dollars, giving those dollars back, they'll be coming back to the US. And crypto may be the only place that can really absorb that. But it was a gift horse to have stable coins. I mean, the US dollar cornered the market, man. You had Bitcoin, you had Ethereum, and you got stable coins. And so if the US doesn't want to be an innovator in here, and they don't want to, and they keep wanting to weaponize their dollar and not putting it to a good use case or taking advantage of the gifts before them that could actually make the world a better place, they don't deserve it. But they can't stop it. All right, let's get back on topic here. And watch me, I'll start ranting about that stuff. Lending protocols. Now, this is not one that I do, but they're out there. But I will say this. As I stack my Bitcoin, and I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, but if you had to pick one that's going to survive more than the rest of them, which one are you going to pick? Which one's proven? Which one's true? Which one can no one shut down? It's Bitcoin, right? So that is my safety from the mark of the beast. That's what I believe. And when they come out with the CBDCs and you cannot buy or sell without that number, that's why I have, and God said, let there be Bitcoin, and it was good. Because he will give you a way out. He always gives you an option out. Affiliate links. Okay, and it's kind of like what I went over on the channel earlier with my YouTube channels, right? All those little things, wherever they are now. That's a way you can make some passive income. So, and airdrops, like we mentioned with Cosmos, man, I love airdrops. I woke up, the Uniswap airdrop came out before my birthday, but I found out about it. I found out that I had it on my birthday. Man, that was the best birthday ever. Woke up to at that time, were $2,500. Man, that was huge. That was huge for me. At that time, that was, oh, wow. I mean, I think that almost doubled my account that I was messing with at that time. Because I think I started, that's about the time I learned to chart. 2020 is about September, October 2020. That's when I made up my mind to learn how to do this and quit having my money taken away from me. Learn how to do TA, learn how to trade. And got that airdrop, man. Because I only had like $4,000. And then I had to lose about half of that. And then I had to give up another $500 to join this trading group, and just so I could learn what's going on. And it didn't leave me with much left to play with, right? So the airdrop was it helped. Airdrops are awesome. Validator nodes. So proof of stake, get enough coins, you can become a validator. Have your own validator node. Run it on your computer or run it on Amazon Web Service. I'd suggest not doing that because that's centralized. Let's just forget I said that altogether. And then mining. That's the first way I got into crypto. Mining. I was a hobby miner for Bitcoin, and that was too dang expensive. So I switched over to Script and mine Litecoin and some other coins. That's pretty awesome, man. You have a money printing machine when you have a miner like that. It is truly amazing. And you know what? Who's going to know about it? If you mine and it's going to an address, that address is never doxed. And I think that's what they're afraid of. Things like that. Just money getting out of their hands and not being able to track it. But just to wrap it up, there are some ways that you can have passive income and develop these passive income streams in crypto. Some of them are not attractive. The lending right now is not attractive. But I think a point that I was going to make on that, but I didn't. Why I'm stacking Bitcoin is because I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin. Even when we get up to the all-time highs, I'm not selling my Bitcoin. It's too scarce. I can borrow against that Bitcoin. I can use that Bitcoin on my exchanges and with margin, and when the price comes down, I can short Bitcoin and make more Bitcoin. But in general, if I wanted to buy a car, I'd take out a loan against my Bitcoin. You usually have to so if I have one Bitcoin, I'd usually be able to borrow up to half that value. I don't recommend borrowing up to half of that value, especially unless you're at the bottom of a market cycle, because there's a liquidation risk. But what if you just got, you got 3 or 4 Bitcoin and you want to borrow 50,000? Borrow somewhere around 25% of that, maybe 10% of that. And I'm just borrowing against that. I don't have to sell it. I get to keep my Bitcoin. And we can always pay the interest on that by doing what we do with the altcoins, right? Making the money back in the altcoins and just pay that sucker off. So my idea is to never sell my Bitcoin. But I will find ways to put it to work for me. So crypto as a business, that's basically what it is. We are buying cheap products and we are marking them up, or the market's marking them up over time, and we're selling them at a profit. Don't have to set up a store. Don't have to set up a website. Don't have to pay for advertising or marketing expenses. Don't have to put some kind of sales spiel on somebody trying to tell them how much they need something. People are wanting this. And I don't think you can beat that. I don't think I could go out there and wash cars and have that same opportunity, or do some of these other jobs and have the same opportunities that we have here in crypto. All right, so that's the business section of the... Oh, let's go back to the chat here. I'm getting a little bit behind. Let's just drag it over here. Striga heart. Alligators. Dinosaurs. Something. Pink dinosaurs. CD asks, what are your endpoints set on your Ichimoku cloud? My Ichimoku cloud is just it is stripped down, man. I didn't change anything. I just took stuff off. So all those lines, because man, I got enough lines on my chart as it is, right? If I use everything on this Ichimoku cloud, look at that. I can't even see the charts anymore. They do have a purpose. They're similar to moving averages. From the best I can remember, it's projected like 26 or 20, I think 26 days out and 26 days behind or something. I do not actually know all the details. I just want the cloud. And so that's all I do. And that gives me so much peace of mind. So I'm not worried about all the settings and everything. I just want that cloud. It helps me keep up with the trend and helps me see when that trend is changing. And that's how I use it. So when I know that price doesn't like to be in the green, it usually comes down and shoots out on the other side of a green cloud. Now here on this instance, did not do that. We found support there, and that's extremely, extremely bullish. But usually it's always bouncing up through the red cloud. Look at this on this daily chart. I'm showing you everything that didn't do it. There are some instances where you will get on I find the 8 hour sometimes. Sometimes I get on this one and the 8 hour to 6 hour, and it's kind of backwards, where it's going up through the green and down through the red sometimes. And I'm sure that means something. I have not quite figured out when that polarity changes what that means. But in general, it usually always plays out the same, man. If it comes into the cloud, it can be sucked into it. So I'm always cautious about that. And that's when I start looking more into the moving averages and the patterns and what's going on. But if we're under it, it's bearish. And when we get above it and we got green underneath us, it's bullish. And if we're above the green and I start seeing red come in, that's usually kind of a sign of sideways or down. Alt Tilt Fuel BTC, I get it. 9 coin. 9 coin. Let me learn how to spell here. I'm going to assume that this is probably against Ethereum because it. Well, let's look at it. Nyan and wrapped ETH. It looks like a bag of milk, man. That's definitely a bottom pattern, isn't it? There's definitely some type of model. Hopefully. Ooh. I'm taking that you're asking me to take a look at it. I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about the price action. Checking out the daily. Ooh. It looks like we're retesting that 50. All those zeros and a 26831. That's about the area I'm looking for. There's this little sliver green in the Ichimoku. That happened because we got these big pumps ups, right? Remember, this is projected forward. But when you see a big, thick cloud like this, it's a good sign that we're in it and we're going to work our way through the outside. So most likely find support here. So it's got just a little bit more to come down, looks like, in my opinion. And let's see, we can drag that back. Does that still line up? Not so great. Not so great. Okay. And then we got those candles. Let's come to a smaller time frame, see if we can. That looks a little bit, makes a little bit more sense there. And that looks pretty close. Okay, I'm taking that as being valid. And so what I'm doing is just checking my angles. And if I see the angles match up on both sides, I go with that. So basically a rising channel, which is kind of bearish overall. But I mean, we could be forming some kind of bigger bottom pattern here. I'm not a big fan of the price action, man. I don't know. This one looks like a lottery ticket to me, but you are in bottom territory, so chances are. I mean, what's the... Okay, I got the wrong tool, but this don't work. That's a good move up, though. I mean, for the DEGEN, for a DEGEN chain, it looks like a good DEGEN trade. If you can get in at the bottom of the channel and put your top sales at the top of the channel, and then at these wicks too. So I would raise this to the top of the wicks. Gosh, I just pull a Fibonacci, man. Just layer some sales right through there and buy at the bottom. My strategy would be to buy at the bottom of the channel, set sell targets up there, and take advantage of what I can get out of that 300%, right? But I know nothing about this project, but ooh, I don't like the choppy rise action overall. Okay, I'm behind in the chat. Let's catch up with the chat here. Back from gold panning all day. Great info tonight. Man, you pan for gold? Man, that's cool. I would be interested in doing something like that. I watch that on YouTube every once in a while, man. I'm sure I mined well over billions. Ooh, okay. But the pools at the time were shady and took most of the coins, man. Sometimes these dexes will fail. I had one to fail on me. Sift chain. And actually today I just got to move out what was left over there. Because I was stacking some rat Bitcoin over there. And I had a good little amount, but whatever. But this was from the free money that I had. I lost absolutely nothing. It was all gravy. But I thought I had a little bit more gravy than I ended up with the way that happens. And it's kind of cool when you can talk about losing money and it not affecting you. It's cool when you get to that point where it's not your capital that's at stake anymore. It's the house's money. It takes all that emotion out of you. I mean, I did not like losing the money from Luna and UST, but it didn't tear me up, man. It didn't make me want to throw myself out the window or anything like that. It's just like, oh, well, I guess we got to do something with what I got left. CD says, thanks. Yes, it was a super cluttered with all the other stuff. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Ichimoku. No, it's Nyan coin. I did not see any more Nyan. All I see is Nyan with with wrapped ETH. Do I have all my sources turned on? Well, let's go. Let's go over here. Well, put Nyan in. I'm not seeing Nyan coin. May have to give me a little bit more information on that one, or tell me what exchange it's on. Oh, we don't need this anymore. I lost my chat. Chat! That's not my chat. Is that my chat? There we are. All right. LOL. Came out when Doge, but I was talking about things that aren't rugs. It was a joke. Okay. Maybe they changed it. Not important. I remember it ran with Doge at the time. Can you take a look at Quant? I sure can, Avid. I am in Quant. It's been kind of frustrating for me. I believe in it. It just hasn't been moving like I had hoped yet. Oh, look at all this mess I got. That's a noisy chart right there. Okay, so is that my moving averages making all that? Okay, let me... So this is basically what I had. I had I call it a bearish or bullish megaphone. Downward broadening pattern, I think is what Thomas Bukowski calls these. I think Charting Critical calls these a descending, he calls the upwards ascending wedge. I assume he calls these one a descending wedge, and that's easier to say. So I'm probably going to steal that too. And I was looking at this on a smaller time frame. We had a nice little head and shoulders that looked like it could have played out, right? I mean, that looks textbook. It failed. Go figure, man, because those usually always play out. I was very disappointed in that. Had this bullish pattern, head and shoulders, looked like that was going to be the one that got us out. And we did come up a little bit, technically. Retested the weekly support there and fell back into that pattern. That was sad. And we're out of it now. We've retested it here. Did some wicks down there. So it's been a slow break from this. It wasn't the explosive break that I'd hoped from this inverted head and shoulders. So let's get that out of there. But our targets still remain. So I want to take a measured move there. Now I believe the blue line I have over there was the head and shoulders. Let's see where it's taking us now. Because I'm going to move this little guy down. Head and shoulders is invalidated. And I'm looking for a target around $154. Short term. Now, overall, I'm waiting for this puppy to get back up about $400 or $500 like it did before. And that's why I've been going heavier. Let me zoom out. We'll take a look. It's always good to zoom out. When you zoom out, you see where we came from before, and that's a good indicator of where we're going. Now, that looks a little off, so that's probably on a different time frame. Let me just kind of connect some candle tops there. And so, depending on how you look at it, this is a rising channel. It was also a bearish megaphone. You can look at it that way too. That actually makes a little bit more sense, more touches there. So that would have a little bit more weight. So that was a bearish pattern, and it broke down to the downside. And these don't usually play all the way down. They usually come about 45% of the way down, if I remember correctly. I have to check Thomas Bukowski to get more details on that. So we found support here, and then we came back up and retested this trend line, and that's kind of the point I was getting to. We broke out of the trend line, retested here, retested it here, bearishly got rejected. So we are kind of in just a range for a little while as far as this goes. So this one's going to be a slow trade. I don't see anything that's going to boost us up there really quick just yet, but I do think it's coming, and that's why I'm in on this one, kind of heavy. It's actually one of my bigger bags. And so I've got this area from 106 to 114, and that was my little sweet buy zone there. And we did wick back down into that, and we may come back and wick back into it again. And let me just do a little checking on trend lines here. So you could say, descending wedge or bullish megaphone. This is actually a bullish pattern here now inside of a possibly bigger pattern. We're just going to keep our eye on it. And depending on how you look at this and how you draw it, looks like we've got to break out and do a retest, and that's good. And we could take these lines. Actually, I think that's going to be the most valid one. When I see support or resistance flip into support, I take that as being the most valid line. So I'm pretty happy with that. But you could draw it this way and kind of get the same thing, flipping this line as support. And it's just kind of how these things play out. But I think this is your actual pattern here. Candle tops to candle tops. Retested it here, broke back into it just a little bit, came back out. Wick down to it. Now that's a good sign. So we may see one more move down in this area before we come back up. Ichimoku cloud kind of tells me that a little bit. That little thin, spindly red thing. That's a little bearish to me. That can mean downward quick. And it probably came in with this line right here. But let's see what our indicators have got. Now, the daily's not looking as hot at the moment. So I do foresee us possibly coming down. Let's get our moving averages up here, because they tell me a lot too. We're under the 200 on the daily. Man, we lost our 200. I hate to say this, but we may come back down to the 105 area again at some point over the next month or two. It's too early to tell. Let's go to the weekly. When it looks confusing, zoom out. That's the rule. And it actually looks a little bit more promising to me, really. Now, like I said, price usually comes up through the red cloud, right? It usually doesn't come up through the green. It's usually above the green. So the fact that we have green here gives me a little bit of hope that over the next few weeks, we may get that pump up. And I'm purely going by the cloud on this, just how I see the clouds play out. So I want to keep my eye on something like that possibly happening. That would be great news for me, because this has been a very slow trade. If I knew it was going to play out this slow, I would have done something else. I still want it though. I got lots of faith or lots of hope for this. So I just want to take a look at our indicators. Just make sure I'm not missing anything overall. And And that's not even worth drawing a trend line. That's pretty much support and resistance. So this weekly support seems to be holding pretty well, about $106 somewhere in that area. I like that. It would suck for my trade if price came down to $70. I'm just pulling that up there just to see the possibility of it. Or down to $60. But if it did, that would be a great place to buy, man. Right there would be an awesome place to buy. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to go through the pain of it going down there. Some of this that I have is on margin because I was trying to build a bigger bag of it. And then that's why I'm watching this one closely myself, because I've got a little leverage in on this. All right. So I think I'm going to keep that trend line there. Now, overall, if we look at this, you could have kind of a symmetrical triangle thing. And you guys have been watching me, you know I don't like symmetrical triangles. But that's pretty much just, it's following the support, and we did get a breakout there. So I'm hoping maybe that scenario that we're talking about where we jump up through that green cloud, man, I would love to see that. But man, buying it down here, but there's got to be something big going on with the market to drive this down there, right? And the green over here just doesn't make sense. So I'm leaning more toward this bullish pattern, this bullish megaphone actually playing out there, and probably taking us up to the 618 area right here, about 141 is probably the most realistic price thing that I can see anytime in the short term, and that's just going by the weekly. And that's a Fibonacci, and this is a 618. Let me remember where I got that one from. It wasn't from you. Oh, we got singing. I gotta do something with the music real quick. Give me just a second, guys. I'm just not feeling the 50s. Supposed to be chilling, right? Charting and chilling right now. So I'm trying to remember where I got this actual 618. I think it was from here. That's where I got that top one. Okay, where did you come from? Okay, so it was from that top to this wick. I don't remember doing that, but that's where our 618 is coming from, and we're finding rejection there. And our 27, remember from our little scalping thing that we're looking at earlier when I do that? Bottom of the zone right here, 105. So if we do come down, and that little thin sliver of cloud right there gives me it makes me think that we might. So I'm still looking at this accumulation box, and I will be buying if we do reach down there. So just kind of slow and sideways for Quant. But when it goes, man, I'm looking for these take profit levels up here, man. I want to see that trade do something good. All right, let's get back to the chat as soon as I find where I put it. Kind of like Feathercoin when it got 50. Stregahard, how long you been in this game, man? You know about Feathercoin? That's old school. I remember having Feathercoin. Is that what happened to it? I forgot what happened to it, but it got a 50-51 attack. Huh. How long you been in the game, Strigahart? Because we're talking Feathercoin. I remember seeing that back in 2014. Seems like, yeah, I think about 2014, maybe 13. Habib said, had some FUD as of late. Not sure if a good point to pick up some now or financial horse size. Yeah, I haven't caught the FUD on that. I probably need to look into that. I don't know what's been going on with what. I was like, what was that? I was like, what was that? I was like, what was that? I'm done. Sorry, I'm just putting voices in your mouth there. ETC was the same way too. Yeah, ETC. You know, there's some people that think there might be a chance for ETC. I mean, there's some good arguments. I mean, some fair arguments for it, I guess. Still proof of work, the original Ethereum. I'm curious. I do have some. I did. I've got a little ETC. It did get up like $78 last bull run, right? It went from like $8 to 78, almost $80. So a 10x, and then it just kind of did nothing much after that. So I'm not going to rule it out, but I still think, you know, I'm curious to see what Charles Hoskin does with that. It's still linked to IOHK sometime. It's at 30 right now, ETC. Let's take a look at it. I mean, if something cool happens with this project and it gets its footing again, I think that would be awesome. I really do like some of the old projects, you know, the ones that were actually trying to do something. So I just wonder. So I've got some just in case, because I'm pretty sure that am I looking at this right? When was this? Did we really get up that high? I remember us being around 80. I think I've forgotten about us reaching 183. Yeah, I was out of the game by then for sure. That's probably why I don't remember it. When was that? That was May. That's there in the run. I can't remember when I bought, but I bought it a little higher than I wanted to. But I do remember when it was hanging around here. I think I may have had just a few then, but anyway, we are back. We did reach about 13 in July. In December, we were down about 15. And I think somewhere through here is where I picked up some, just to hope for this bull run. And currently, so that's telling me we're at 22. But in a falling channel, I mean, that's bullish. It's just going to take it a while. We got some rounding going on. Some people might say maybe trying to form an inverted head and shoulders. If it comes back up here, that would make one, and that would be valid. This shoulder is, well, it's actually higher. I feel better if this was up just a little higher than this one. This one's a little bit lower than this left shoulder, but it can still play out. But that's typically the formation that we look at when we're having a falling wedge. What's really going on is that we're making a partial decline. So price is not coming all the way back down to the bottom of the channel. It's finding support here at the halfway mark, which is lining up with this bottom over here. So it's getting ready to come out in a nutshell. It's just not happening today because we got the red dot on market cipher. So indicators are kind of tired. So we're going to spend about a week probably sideways on this one. But looky there, came through the red. Let's blow this up a little bit. Got some good things going on in the moving averages here too. So Ichimoku cloud, we popped up through the red, and then we got this green here. And that's a little thick, so it may kind of draw us back down toward a little bit. That would make sense. But we got this 200 moving average, and the 100 is crossing above it, right? So that white one's going to cross above it. That's bullish. So we retest. We'll probably retest these areas, 21, maybe down to $20. And find some support there, and then we probably work on our breakout. Now let's see if we can find a measure move for this little guy. So overall, just that channel alone gives us a great little measure move. And let's put it over here. That brings us back up to about $60. And that's a nice little take profit. I would do that. I would take some profit there. That would be, I haven't made a moon bag out of this yet, so that would be a great place for me to make a moon bag. So with my ETC, that's probably what I would do. Move it off my wallet onto exchange sometime when we get around the $60 mark. Looks like a good plan to me. And then keep what I got free and clear. And man, if we can get back up here to 180, awesome. Ride that baby for all it's worth. And I lost my chat again. There we are. It's just easier to pull it up here. I think I'm getting behind. Strike Hearts is 22. Yeah, it was wild. Been watching Chronotech or time. It went up. Did it go up? It's about time, man. Because I've got a little bitty bit of this. I think I've got under, I think it's under 2. Maybe I have 1.5 of this. I don't know. Just a small thing. I just wanted to get a taste of it, right? Because I wanted to play it against Ethereum. Well, it looks like it's trying to double bottom here. We lost this support. Now we got this one that we're coming up on. So maybe it'll find support. Man. I mean, this guy got up there, right? About $560, $580. Now we're down at 38. So let me go to the weekly. It's just easier to show what's going on the weekly. So it's just been a slow mover, but you know, seeing what it's done before gives me hope that it can do it again. So you know, it's one of my DEGEN lottery ticket plays, I guess you'd call it. I'm just holding on to for a little while. It may give me a chance just to add a little bit more to there, but overall it looks like we're coming down just to do a double bottom, and it'll take a while for this to play out. And you can see here, this would technically be our neckline here for that double bottom. So I guess we can call it a neckline. We can look at that, and we can also look at the wick. But that one's going to be harder to play out. So basically kind of making a double bottom scenario, and once we do that, we can take a measure move from there down to the bottom, put that on top, and that takes us up to the wick, right? Now here's where it gets kind of interesting, where this pattern, as we slowly over the next year or whatever eventually work up to there, it kind of does the same thing, right? It kind of completes a bigger version of that double bottom, and you could see your measure move from there, and that would be cool if I quit messing up my lines. And we'll take that measure move, pop it on top, and that takes us up to this area at 371. So that's the possibilities of what I'm seeing from a double bottom that could play out. So first target would be up here about just a little under 200. But man, this sucker is going to take a long time to get there. But we got time. Rap Luna is your DEGEN play, huh? Luna's been doing a little bit better, right? Because I've still got some on the Cosmos chain. I think I got some Luna C and some regular Luna over there. Because when it failed or whatever, and then they gave you the new Luna in place, I don't know. It still didn't amount to anything. But it's just interesting to see that it's starting to come up a little bit. Why am I not getting anything here? Okay. That brings back memories. Man. Because I remember having, what, about 80 Luna? I think I still got 80 Luna. And it's worth nothing. I think I lost somewhere around $15,000 of not investment, but it could have been profit. Well, that was a pretty big loss when that happened, but not near. I mean, I'm blessed I didn't get hit like other people, man. I mean, people actually put in their savings and stuff on that. Mine was air money, so that was terrible. We've had some hard times this bear cycle, man. Luna's at 140. Yeah, it hit 33 and just went up a bit. It's shy of getting to 30. They want to say wrap Luna C, but it's interesting. I wrote that all the way down. Man, I tell you what, with that Luna thing and Luna UST, and it was over here on Osmosis, and they had a pool for that. I was getting ready to go heavy in that with my money. To put a good chunk in there. By the grace of God, those funds did not get to me until after that happened. Oh, golly, man. You talk about being depressed. I would be seriously depressed right now if I'd done that. Okay. So if you got something you want to take a look at, by all means, throw it up in chat. I'm going to go over a few things that just to throw out there. Let me get over to my new list here. Where are you at? I don't know. There's a couple little setups here. Some of these things may be worth looking at, but these are kind of DEGEN plays. And Trigger says I'm only down 3K. That's not bad. Not bad. Because you can make that up really quick as we start going up. All right. So I'm looking at one called OVR, and I've done zero fundamental analysis on any of these. So these are strictly just looking at some possibilities with a pattern. Some things that are on the charts that kind of caught my eye, but this is one. I'm going to post these over on the Telegram group. Let me get that kind of brought up here so I can make that easier. Why are you not coming? Oh, there you are. Okay. Move that to the side. So you can see where did this one come from, man? Oh, I got wicks all the way up to about $4. Candle closes up to $1.56. So I mean, there could be something. I've got a measure move on this one. It looked just kind of interesting. It looks like we're getting a double bottom. This is on the weekly. We can come down to the daily, but the weekly market effort likes it, right? Money flows coming to the upside. Stochastics kind of coming down a little bit, but we got momentum waves coming to the upside there. Got some divergence going on there. So these are kind of hot things to me right now. So divergence on the wave table there, bullish divergence, and even got some on the RSI right there. So what happened? There we go. So got RSI's going up, prices coming down. Hey, let's use this. I haven't used this in a while. Did it show up? Problem is that I forget that I have this up here. But my little, because I don't see it, I have to look over on a different screen to see it. So over here is my little divergence cheat sheet. Because it's hard for me to keep up with these things, man. It's like those greater and less than signs that we learned like in 3rd or 4th grade, man. I had trouble with that until the fishy thing was explained. But so I remember these like a bow tie, and I got the bullish on the left side, the bearish on the right side. And so if it makes a bow tie like this on the left side, that's the bullish divergence that we want to see. And over here with the diamonds, since diamonds are hidden in the ground, or in the case of a naughty fiance, they might hide them on their finger. Hidden bullish divergence right there. And then we got the bearish ones over here. So if you get a bow tie, the right side of a bow tie, we know that that's going to be bearish, and the right side of the diamond, we know that's going to be bearish as well. That's the hidden bearish divergence. And so that's just a little cheat sheet that I throw up there, but we do have some divergence here. So basically, in a nutshell, this thing's getting ready to take off over the next few weeks. It looks like, to me, the weekly looks good, and it looks as though, is that the right one I'm looking for? Let's go with this one. So getting here and just coming up to, it's going to come up eventually up to this 200 moving average on the daily. It's just going to, that's going to be a 32% return on that. I've got a measure move, I think, from the falling wedge there that actually takes us up about 65% up to 52 cents. So I'm seeing OVR, whatever this is, could probably go from where it is now, 31 cents, up to 52. So that's one I'm throwing out there and putting on the radar. Let me just take a quick snapshot of this. Somebody asked for me to look at God's on chain, and I can do that. As soon as I hit escape. There we go. All right, so just let me post this one to the group real quick. Copy that link. Let's go over to my trade setups. OVR. Daily chart on KuCoin. DEGEN play. Paste that. And now we share that with the group. God's Unchained. I've got some of this, and I'm underwater on this. Is a little disappointed in it right now. And I've had it for a minute. But this is starting to look better. So it got up to 880. That's pretty cool. It's got 732 over here, but it does say 880. So anywhere around there would be awesome, right? Especially from where it is right now. See, it's got 500 million, right? 500 and 200. Wow. So we're starting to double bottom there. That's good. We kind of got the whole rounding thing going on. So it's in accumulation. Nice rounding shape, and this could take a while to play out, man. So even drawing my timeline out here, we're looking at about August. Could play a little before that. Might see some movement in the summer, but this is the shape. That's the shape. That's the bottom shape you want. Make sure I didn't cut through any candle bodies there. And so it still got a little bit of a breakout, but it's coming. And remember what we said, that on this, we're looking at the 200 on the daily, right? And when we find that we're getting close, maybe to the point where we can go up there, and we could. Another thing I want to point out, chart's actually looking good. This is a bottoming pattern. It's not completed yet, but when it comes up just a little bit up here, that's what we call an Adam and Eve, double bottom. So that's a good sign to see. So I don't foresee us dropping any lower, or not very much lower, not lower than 20 cents, I don't think, from what I can see. Oh, the line's a little bit above that wick there. Make sure I don't cut those things off. But that's looking good to me. So eventually we'll get a breakout. So when we see them get close to this, we'll go to the 4 hour, and we're trying to see about the moving average here. So if I see a golden cross on the 4 hour, mega bullish. If we get above the 200 on the 4 hour, so the 4 hours is where we got to focus on with this one. And now we're getting a lot of these valleys going on right here, right? That's a good sign. That's part of our rounding process that we're doing right here. And then we got the moving averages all tight and bunched up, right? It's looking good. Indicators are looking pretty decent. Money flow is getting ready to flip into the green. VWAP, it's going sideways, getting ready to turn up. Stochastics on the way up. 4 hours looking good. 4 hours looking great. We're getting ready to head up to the 200, and that's going to be about 23 cents. So that would be your first short-term target if you're looking at taking any kind of profit. And if you're looking for a place to buy in, I mean, we could pull fibs, but I'm telling you, with the moving averages here, just go ahead and put a line right beside them. Because it would come down and retest the 50 and the 100, and we got them there together, so maybe 22.5 cents. Between 22 and 23 cents, when it gets to $8, doesn't matter. But that's looking good. And so we looked at that little Adam and Eve there, right? Or was it this one? Sometimes you see repeating patterns. That's what I was trying to see if we had. Okay, so that was on their time frame. It's not repeating, but this is actually the Adam and Eve that still has not played out. It's not going to be official until we get up to about 27 cents. And once it gets there, it has a measure move for itself, which would take us up to about 34.5 cents. And that's just from the Adam and Eve. That's not even counting the breakout from the falling wedge. At that point, whatever, we'll flip that wedge, or flip this trend line into support. And that's where I want to come back to the daily. It's looking good, and it's about time. Okay, that'll make me feel better about having it. I don't have a whole bunch of this, but it was a lot more not too long ago. I think I was in, when was this? Had to have been, I think I'm in somewhere around 50 cents. And it's just been downhill since then, so I haven't bought any more added to that bag or anything. Let's see, this is also possibly, some people might see this as a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. Still, you know, just zoom out, look at the bigger overall pattern, and they all usually work out the best that way. But I like the rounding shape, and just from the wedge itself, takes us up to right about 48 cents. So those are two good little measure moves that I got there, and that kind of lines up with the spikes that we had there. And we could see this, you know, we could see this play out over a long time, okay? So we could spike up to these levels. So it's good to take profits up there, and I may do that myself with what I've got. Set that up so that I can have some sell targets if we wick up there, because we can come back to fill out this rounding shape over time. So there might be an opportunity to kind of rotate and build that bag a little bit more. It's how I'm looking at it anyway. But overall, no, you're asking, it looks good to me. And where can it go? We could definitely see, you know, headed back up toward the all-time high around $7, $8. Definitely will in the cards to happen. It's just a little bit too early right now to predict that, but you know, drawing your fib lines would give you an idea of what to expect there. And I would be targeting that 555 area, $7 area, and this 452 area. So for a long-term play, those would be the take profit areas I would look at, and then keep a little bit in case we go above that all-time high. Marinade is a good DEGEN. It went up pretty good last November. Marinade. So what's so cool about having you guys on the live stream? Because you talk about coins, some of them I haven't heard of. Unless you're playing with me. You may be playing with me. You have a sense of humor. Nope, there it is. That was CoinX. I'm not familiar with CoinX. Marinade. It's on Gate.io. Stake Soul. Okay, Marinade and Tether. Gate.io. It's on Coinbase. Well, that's interesting. Let's check that out. How long's it been on Coinbase? Not about 6 months. A little bit longer. Okay, here we go. Got some price history. Wow, look at that. 261. So that move to that move, and look, the 2.7. That move down to the 2.7. And what do we get? The negative 2.7 and the negative 382. See how this stuff repeats and how it's consistent? These are my magic lines. These are my magic drawings. Or my magic little zones that I'm always looking at. And that's why, because they play out. Okay, so that looks like a good bottom area there so far. Rounding, nice rounding shape. We've got that going on. It's got everything I'm looking for. Man, I was going to show some DEGEN coins. You guys are bringing me some good ones to the table here. And that's what's so cool about a live stream. I probably could have started that up here, but we've got enough touches. You need at least 3 touches to be valid. And that looks good. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Let me go ahead and get that other one off. First one was beautiful, but this one's even more pretty. So it's getting ready to do some damage, okay? So big, thick, Ichimoku cloud with that little sliver of green. May have a little surprise in store for us because it's got that little sliver of red right after it. So biggest thing I'm looking at is moving averages on the daily. Gorgeous. Above the 200 on the daily. Can't beat that. The blue, that's the 50 crossed over it. That's your golden cross. And looks like that happened April 23 right over here. When it was $23.44. Man, that looks gorgeous. All right, so we check out the 4 hour real quick. 4 hours getting a little tired, so there's a chance to get back into this. All right. Well, you got me curious on this one now. Marinade steak. Sol. So Solana. Maximum supply 4.2 million. Total supply 4.2 million. That's accurate. It's all out. This is staking though, right? So are these rewards, but yet they're limited? 115 million market cap. but low supply coin. I'm definitely going to take a closer look at this one. You may see a video come out on this one. It may be that interesting. Thank you for bringing this up. That looks like a good find, actually. Daily looked awesome. 4 hours coming down a little bit, and that's just an opportunity to buy cheaper a little bit, between $22 and $26. Yeah. It's not going to be that huge of a discount, but every discount helps, right? So next place we're coming down to is the 50 moving average. That's going to be about 24.78. Throw a Fibonacci up there. Let me line that up, and that lines up with the 50% area. And according to Dow theory, Charles Dow, when you have a big impulse move like that up, price usually comes down to the 50% area. We just find that it kind of varies. Right now, it's finding support on the 236, so it's got a chance. If it keeps support there, you know, it may be getting ready for a big move, meaning that this may actually be a flag, a bull flag. And if it's a bull flag, you've got a measured move from the flag pole, from the bottom to the top there. And if Soldagger's in here, we were talking earlier about Telegram about how to do this on a flag. And that's how you do it. And you put it at the breakout, and that's got confluence with this 618 area up here. It's in the negative because I pulled from the bottom to the top, and that's cool. This is actually for retracements. I just use it a little different. I put extensions above it, and they work. So that's cool. I'm liking this one. Let's add this one. Put that over to the trade setups. Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing there. So possibly could be a bull flag, or we could be coming back and retrace about 24, you know, and that's cool too. It could do a little Bart Simpson down, or if it does this, it's probably gonna go sideways for a little while. But being in the middle of the red cloud and being a bull flag, it may feel, and as bullish as the daily looked, and we're on the 4 hour, stochastics are down at the bottom. We're in the green on that. It's getting ready to pop. Dang. It almost makes me want to FOMO. I want to FOMO into this. It looks good, man. It really does look good. What I will do is that I don't want to forget about this one. I want to draw me a little trend line right there. And I want to set an alert. And so when it crosses above that, it's going to let me know about it. Let's extend that over just a little bit. And so I know if we get above 2690, got a good move coming. So overall, so if this one pops off, and it's set up perfectly to do that, man, it wicked up to $99 February. Seeing that it did that, I just layer some targets there with those fibs. So a cool way, and if I take a closer look at this and decide to get in on this one, this is kind of how I'd play it out. I get in and then set my set profits, limit orders, all those fib lines. Let it wick or do whatever it's going to do, because it's still in accumulation phase. It's going to still do this for a little while, and then eventually, boom, it's going to shoot up and go parabolic. But you've got a chance, if you're willing to take it, to take advantage of this price movement and just recycle all that back in and build a new bag. Because man, you're looking at up to almost 300% return there, 3x just within this little range. So this one's looking good to me, man. So Strago, we're calling you a new gem picker. You and Donna look like you might have the gift at finding some real cool coins to look at. Let's see. I'm trying to clean this up just a little bit, and I'll post this one to the group over there. I've got an alert set for something. Oh, for the bull flag. Okay, you're right. Right. Squirrel. Okay, copy that link and Soul. This one looks really good to me. This one looks really, really good. Daily chart. From live stream. And give you credit there for bringing that up. And we'll go ahead and post that there. So I think everybody in the groups heard me talk about the rounded bottoms enough that they know. You also have MNDE, which is different from MSOL, but still related. Media Network is another fun one too. MND. Man, this one, perfect setup. This thing looks extremely gorgeous. Wow. I'm really impressed with this one. Strika, you did it on this one. And let's see. Let's see what it is. Okay, that's Marinade 2, but not MSOL. And it's at 4 cents. So all-time high was 37 cents. All-time low was at 2 cents. And total supply 1 billion. Circulating supply is about a tenth of that. The maximum supply looked at 1 billion. 8 million market cap. Okay. And it's at gate. I don't have access to these coins, do I? I bet they're on Solana dexes, though. It doesn't look as juicy yet as that other one. The other one looked awesome, but it looks like it's getting there. It does have the red dot on the daily. Looks a little tired. Money flows in the red there, so a little iffy there. It does look rounding. So it looks like it's an accumulation. That does hold. Don't see the 200 on the daily. We're under it on the 12-hour. So it doesn't have the signs I'm looking for just yet. Let's check this 4-hour out. But it may be getting close to that. Maybe getting close. So what I'm looking for, we got the 50 across the 100. That's good. We're kind of losing support here in the 200. When that 50 crosses that 200 right here, that's the buy signal. That's what I'll be looking for there. I want to see the price get above the 200, or at least show signs that it's getting ready for that golden cross. I need to see these other two moving averages start going up. Price needs to go above the 200 basically. It looks like I could do that. I need to quit saying "oh" so much. I'm trying to change the habit, but it just slips by me. So it looks interesting, but I'm not seeing what I need to on the daily yet. Even the 4 hour had a red dot there. It's playing red dot, green dot right now. And money flow's just now starting to get into the red. So it looks like it's going to have a little rough way to go in short term. But it looks overall like it's starting to set up for a possible good setup. Just got to keep looking at it. This rounding shape could actually extend out. That's what I'm kind of concerned about. Maybe too early for that rounding shape. So I'm going to take it from over here. That kind of works really well right through here, doesn't it? Didn't touch here though. And this, when I start moving these things around, this is when you realize that these parabolic shapes can be really subjective. So I try to just be careful how I use them. I don't want to just bend them all out of shape and force them into something. I want to kind of see how they naturally form out. And that one had enough touches. I really liked how it played over here. So the indicators are kind of pointing down a little bit, but the structure and somewhat with the moving averages suggest that, you know, it may get a surprise pump, man. We may get a surprise wick or something like that out of this one. But eventually just kind of building up for this rounding shape. Definitely want to keep the eye on. So, what could we do here? We could come down to the 4 hour. And could throw an alert on the 200 moving average there. If it lets me do that, will it? Crossing. Let's put an alert there. I want to watch this one. Appreciate you bringing that up. Media Network is another one for fun too. Media Network. So media. So are you big into Solana? I've got some Solana. I've got some art punks. I got some NFTs from Solana. I really got into their art punks. Didn't get into very many other NFTs there. But I'm just kind of skittish a little bit of Solana. I'm keeping my eye on Solana to see how it might work out. Maximum supply is 10 million. Circulating supply 250,000. $2.5 million market cap, $10.40. It's up to about 200, 2021 bull market. That does look interesting. Our media. And your own Coinbase too. That's a good sign. As long as they can keep them there. They've been delisting a lot. Is there another one? Because this one went back a minute, didn't it? Glassnode? What the hell? So it looks like it's pretty much just a Coinbase coin, right? That's odd. Coinbase is not usually the front runner of listers of coins. It's usually somewhere else before Radium. Okay, that makes sense. Coinbase picked it up kind of quick, didn't they? Okay. Well, from what I can tell, and it's probably not much older. If it's a Solana coin, it's probably not much older than June anyway. So this probably is as far as we got. So we got a double bottom going on. It looks like it did like a 786 retracement there. Let's see if that's accurate, or maybe an 886. I totally did that wrong. No, I didn't. $8.86. So we came back to the 8.86 level there. Now I bet if I do some digging, this is probably some harmonic pattern, which I'm not an expert in or very well versed in, so we're not even going to venture that, but these particular Vib zones kind of indicate that. Now, is it a bullish or bearish pattern? I don't know, but this being a bottom area, I'd say it would have to be bullish for that. So let's just stick with what I know. Well, we got an alarm for the other one. So we're holding that level pretty cool. And it's just in a nice kind of a falling channel, but sideways. It technically is a falling channel, so this technically is a bullish pattern. It's got about 65% chance, I believe, to break to the upside there. And a conservative move would just take us up to about $16, $17 and lines up perfectly with this. So that would be a great target for anybody just wanting to get in, and even if it just wicks up there and comes back down and reconsolidates down here, that's a good target. Interesting. Let's put this guy over here too. Ones I want to keep an eye on. You brought some interesting projects. So for short term, I think that's what I would aim for. This is what, $10 and $17 is a target. That looks good. Daily's got a little upward action there. Money flow starting to go up, so that's a good sign. See what the 4 hours saying. So we've just got to see this little 9 start crossing bullishly over there, and it looks like it's trying to do that. So it's just going to work its way up to through the moving average, 1056, 1084. Just needs to break above 11, get above that 200 on the 4 hour, and we'll officially call this little sucker bullish. Flip that for support. So one to definitely keep an eye on. I like that. Seeing it dump to 8 and rebound was wild. Math is another one Coinbase has too. Math. Clearly I have not been playing with Coinbase lately. Meta Alpha Technology Holding Limited. That's a mouthful. Clearly I was on the wrong thing. Okay, so Coinbase. Ooh. This is interesting. Okay. A little busy, a little noisy, but I'm liking what I saw on the moving averages. Weekly will clean that up. Ooh, look at that big wick right there. So we're at 13 cents. Getting topped up and tired a little bit there. Money flow's not exactly where I want it, but it's getting, it's working on it. Biggest things were above the 200 on the daily. That's great. So we'll probably come back and retest that. So we could probably see about just a little under 12 cents there. And the 50 crossed below the 100. So that's a chance. Yeah, that's a good chance. But look, these other ones are getting ready to cross above that. So this little area right here is going to be the pickup zone. So that's where I would look at as a buy zone, between 11.5 to 12.5 cents. And we're just at 13 cents. So I'm going to keep an eye on this part now. Candle close or candle body on up here, and look how well this lines up. And then we lost that area, and it came up and got rejected there. It wicked up, but the candle body closed below it, so that's a rejection from this area too. So this is that tells me sideways, basically, or possibly down. But there's also some divergence coming in, so I'm not seeing the downside so much as sideways, and then possibly to catch ground and then start moving to the up. It's just going to have to work through. It's just got some stuff to work through right now, but it's starting to look good. These divergences here on the wave line, stochastics are way up toward the top there. So most likely, let's go to a smaller time frame, and this will spell it out a little bit better for us. Lost a 9-day. We're coming to the 21. That's in our little buy box. Very likely to find support here at the 200, about just a little under 12 cents. So cool one. And I think we added that one over to the watch list, right? Nope, we did now. Appreciate you, Strega. Thank you for bringing up these cool things, as I'm not familiar with them at all, and there's definitely some good ones to look at. Thanks for sharing, man. Well, guys, it is now 1 o'clock my time. I think this is a good time to wind down the stream. Thank you guys for all being here, and I hope you got something out of it. And thank you so much for sharing, because that's what makes a good group, and that's what makes a good stream. Just when people share and throw things out there, and believe me, karma will come back and bless you for doing that. And hopefully maybe somebody else will share something that'll perk your interest on the next stream too. And I've still got all these that I can save for maybe tomorrow night and go over some of them. But I appreciate you guys for showing up. If you can, hit the like button if you haven't already. If you have already hit it, do not hit it again, please.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button,
and thanks for being here, man.
thank you very much.
But I think I'm going to call it a night, and we'll try to do this a little bit. Let me try to stream again tomorrow night. I'm trying to stream a little bit more, getting away from the videos a little bit and more into the streaming. It just lets me cover more ground quickly, although the videos can be fun sometimes too. All right, guys, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. Until then, my name is Lane, your Crypto Road Dog, reminding you, you are in crypto at the right time, and you got this, baby. Oh, I lost my end screen. That wasn't graceful at all, was it? We'll learn how to do this at some point. Music off, end screen on.
I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Road Dog Crypto.
Always.
Trade wisely, my friends.